The food, the music, the vibe. Kick off your summer at the Ohio Black Expo Riverfront Culture Fest. Tell your friends, share with family. There's no other place to be Memorial Day weekend. Celebrate Black excellence.
Plus 2 concerts featuring Tidra Moses, Talib Kweli, and Jay Rawls, the one and only Marsha Ambrosius, and more.
Experience the African diaspora at its finest. Go to OhioBlackExpo.com for tickets, updates, and more. Visit OhioBlackExpo.com. That's OhioBlackExpo.com.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my 2 books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Before Gobella even make me forget this, we got Gobella in the building. Like, manager, when's it drugs? Blah, 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 blah. Tell me, no, can you please tell me what is this lady? Brains, they connect, right? She looks how she thinks.
In my understanding, a slave queen is just a clean lady who doesn't want to work, who just want things to just come to her easy. Other than that, I don't know. That's what I know.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
What if I told you there's a news platform made just for us? Unfiltered, unapologetic, telling our stories from Africa and the diaspora. The African Diaspora News Channel app keeps you informed and empowered from wherever you are at any time. Don't just watch, join the movement. Download the app now and stay connected to the news that matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream this evening. It is the 15th, and we are trucking along in the month. We don't have that much more to go. We're about halfway over with. I tell you what, doing these streams, you see the time pass by real fast, right, ladies and gentlemen? You see the time pass by real fast. And tonight we're going to be talking about more of the Karmelo Anthony case. I want, people throughout the world, watch our platform. And I want to kind of talk to you a little bit as well. Because when you hear, Black Americans talk about these people, understand we're not lying about them. And the good thing about today is that we have the internet. we can easily go back to video articles real quick. You know, it doesn't get caught up in like missing things. You can lay out your case very easily. And, you know, what we have accomplished in America as FBAs, even as a minority, you understand? We have been a minority in this country, and we have pushed for all kind of rights. We have gained rights and freedoms, and we're still fighting. Now, imagine if we was the majority. Do you really think these people will be a problem for us? No. That's why they don't want to be a minority, because they do not want us to have more numbers than them. You know, we're not going to sit up there and put up with it, right? But with this Karmelo Anthony case, these people are exposing themselves like they always do, exposing their hypocrisy, exposed that they don't believe in the rule of law. They believe in white supremacy. And in white supremacy, it says that I can do whatever I want to whomever I want. But when it comes to other groups of people, especially black people, you cannot practice a rule of law. You can't defend yourself. You can't do whatever, because they live on this, I'm white and I say so. That's what they live on. And I want people throughout the world to see this. I want people throughout the world to understand that you're not dealing with rational people. You're not dealing with people that respect any kind of laws or democracy. It's whatever they say that day, that's what it is. You're starting to see they're not good trading partners. You're starting to see they're not good allies and friends. You see how they ally with each other to do things to other groups of people. I'm not going to go much further than that. You can read between the lines on that. But we wanted to just dive more into this and their rationale and how they're acting about a case of a young man defending himself, which he has a right to defend himself. They have run around here all over the place talking about stand your ground, stand your ground, stand your ground. And, you know, Daniel Penny and anybody else that they had talked about, George Zimmerman. They talked about Kyle Rittenhouse, you name them. And they supported them, and they supported the judges. They supported everybody along with those cases. They didn't threaten the judge with Kyle Rittenhouse because they got their way. They didn't threaten the judge with Daniel Penny because they got their way. But now with this judge, they want to make threats. They want to put out her personal information, her place of residence. They want to threaten Karmelo Anthony's family because of their own that couldn't keep his hands to himself. You understand? He could not heed the warning of someone telling you put your hands on me, it's going to be a problem, because he thought he can do whatever he want to do, because that's the culture that they raise their children under. I don't have to respect black people or anybody. I can do whatever I want. And that starts from when they're children. They could just run. Think about it. You go in the store, they run around, do whatever they want to do. Their mother is sitting up there, I'm counting. How many times have y'all seen that mess? Oh, can you just stop? And they're just doing whatever they want to do. But let a black child do the exact same thing. Everybody's trying to come down on that black child. But us as black people, we don't sit up here and let our children just run around just doing whatever they want to do. We like, hey, boy, don't be doing that. Hey, girl, don't be doing that. We control our children. Because what kind of parent are you to let your kid do whatever they want to do? And then they grow up to be Kyle Rittenhouse, and then they still trying to do whatever they want to do. Now, Black Firestorm 48 says, not surprised they're doing this. We got to keep her safe, and God need to protect her as well. Yeah. And understand, she is a Republican, and they don't care if she's a Republican. That's why it don't matter this is why I don't get involved with that. If a black person's a Democrat, a black person's a Republican, a black person is a black person. Okay? Don't even matter what political party. That's why I don't get into whether a black person's a Democrat, they're my enemy. No, they're not my enemy. I may disagree with them politically. I may disagree with some things they're pushing, but when the rubber meets the road, I'm going to say something. Prime example, I disagree with Jasmine Crockett politically, but if I see the white supremacists circling around her and just attacking her on her race, and I see that's what it is, then I'm going to come to the defense of Jasmine Crockett, because I can't sit there and just say, oh, well, she's a Democrat, I don't care what they do. No, that's not what we do as a people. That's not what we do. Now, just to give you a reminder of why the folks are so mad. I know you saw this last night. Let's go on and replay again why the folks are so mad.
We're up, we're up, we're up, we're up.
Why were you armed? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
So that's why they mad, ladies and gentlemen. That young man got to get out of jail. His bond was reduced to $250,000. And they just see this as, oh my God, the black people, what kind of message it's going to send. I've been reading all kind of comments about what they've been saying. I mean, it's just utterly ridiculous. The same people that were supporting Kyle Rittenhouse, the same people that's been supporting Daniel Penny, those people, right? Now, let's look at something else real quick. The first thing I want to look at and put up on the hold on. Nope, I got an article I need to jump on first. Let me get to the article so we can see this. Let me move my little screen over here. Just give me a second so I can get this on the screen so y'all can see this. Oh, let's see, where we at? Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I got so much stuff up on my screen. Here we go. All right. So judge in the murder case gets added security, and FBI is investigating threats. A lot of these threats have been happening on Elon Musk's platform X, a lot of them, and they're not moderating anything. On X, it's a free-for-all of white supremacy. They're saying the N-word with a hard R all day long on that platform, all day long. Ever since Elon Musk has took over X, I have not seen the N-word with a hard R so much in my life. Now, when they say free speech, they mean the ability to call you the N-word with the hard R at the end of it, without consequence. That is the true freedom of speech that they want, right? Them being denied freedom of speech is being denied the ability to call you those names. And what they want is to say what they want to say to you and not lose their job, their business, anything they have going on, right? They don't want to lose anything. They want to say what they want to say to you. And what could we really expect, though, from an Afrikaner from apartheid South Africa? What could we really expect? And that's the thing, with that dude there. Now, let's go ahead and look at this. They say the judge who reduced Karmelo Anthony's bond this week is getting some added security. They say he learned that after law enforcement says she's been the recipient of threats following her key decision in the murder case. Now, they say the Collin County Sheriff's Office said Tuesday it beefed up protection around Judge Angela Tucker in the wake of her Monday choice to lower the alleged high school track meet killer's bail from $1,250,000. They say the CCSO said that court staff and concerned citizens reported the menacing remarks made against the official. And now this team of investigators, as well as the FBI, are probing the matter. Now, additionally, the CCSO said that they are on the hunt for any party who released private and personal information about the judge to the public. Say if the individual responsible is identified, potential charges could include unlawful disclosure of residence, address, or telephone number, and obstruction or a retaliation. It says unclear exactly what the contents of the comments made against Tucker were. Oh, we seen them on X. It said, but the judge reportedly turned her X page private shortly after Monday's hearing, presumably due to them. It said an attorney for Anthony is a 17-year-old who's facing one count of felony, first-degree felony murder after he allegedly stabbed Austin Metcalf during a dispute over a seat on April 2nd, had argued to Tucker a $1 million bond was unnecessary due to his client's lack of criminal activity history. However, prosecutors asked for it to remain in place. It says calling it the standard for murder cases in Collin County. Now, after lowering it, Tucker ordered Anthony to wear an ankle monitor and be confined to his home. Anthony did not speak to reporters after making the new bill, and it's unknown when he's due back in court. So these folks, ladies and gentlemen, are making threats on a sitting judge. This is what they're doing. These people don't respect the rule of law. These people don't respect the Constitution. They don't respect innocent until proven guilty. They don't respect anything. And let me tell you something. When I sat up here and I was looking at all that, and I was thinking about my time in Ethiopia. And you know, in Ethiopia, they are so far and few in between in that country. And it was just nice. It was nice not to deal with them for a time. I ain't gonna lie. It was actually peaceful. It was like, black people, you really don't know how peaceful things could be when you don't have to deal with them. Don't have to deal with them getting in your business. Don't have to deal with them causing calamity. You know, you just don't have to deal with them. It was actually very, very peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Those of you in South Africa who live over there, why don't you go visit, other African countries that's similar to that, and you will see. You will see. Because y'all in South Africa need a break from them too. Trust me. They don't get along with nobody, no matter what country they're in. They don't even get along with each other in Europe. They don't get along with each other. They don't like each other. They do all kind of things to each other. So we came to say it's just targeted at us, but the only unifying thing they've ever done is unified against us, because if they was in Europe, they'd be attacking each other. Bottom line. Now, so they sit up here and got the judge's information. And when y'all put out the judge's information, what is your plans with that? Well, what are you doing? What are you doing by that? Putting out phone numbers, what are you doing? Are you going to make the case a lot better for the person y'all want to see get some sort of justice, I guess? Are you making it better? Because don't sound like you're making it better, actually. Don't sound like it at all. But I want you to hear from, let me see, I got another video I want y'all to hear from the family, the spokesperson. Check this out.
Today we had a meeting with the leadership of the Frisco Police Department to discuss the matter of urgency in escalating racial threats and bigotry and online hate directed at the Anthony family. Let me be clear. The Anthony family cannot leave their home because of the growing threats towards their safety. Their personal address has been exposed. They have received graphic and racist threats. They are being targeted with violence, and simply because their child is in the center of this tragedy. We are here for justice. This justice must be fair and impartial and protected from biases. We cannot allow racism and bigotry to divide us. We cannot allow white America to decide when and how black people can speak up against oppression. We do not pull the race card, we live it. Yes, this case is a tragedy. Anytime a child is lost, we mourn as a community. Our heart goes out to the family of Austin Metcalf.
All right, so as you heard, not only is the judge being threatened, but the family is being threatened. The family can't have free movement because you have, this culture. There's this culture that's very degenerate, a culture that's don't respect any kind of rule of law, a culture, because like I tell people, it's the culture, okay? You know, when you use the term racism, that's minimizing it. No, we have to look at it culture. And as I told you before, culture passed down things for generations. Culture passed down traditions. You understand? And having a hatred for FBAs is a tradition that has been passed down ever since, at least let's talk about this land, ever since slavery. That's why the same hatred that our ancestors dealt with during slavery, it's the same hatred that they have in 2025. Why? Because it is a tradition, and let me go it on and pass down this tradition to my children, to my children's children, to my children's children's children. Understand? Now, in our minds, we say that what kind of culture is that? What kind of sickness is that? What kind of ungodliness is that? But that is what they have passed down for the past 500 years. And you would say that what kind of contest in hell did we win to have this kind of culture and group just won't leave us alone? All the other people in the world that they can go focus on, but they just won't leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? We see every other group of people come in this country, and they do not have the same dedication like they have to us as FBAs. And y'all know this. Now, I saw earlier when, who was that? Hold on. Yeah, so I saw earlier some of y'all was talking about y'all made some travel places, and it was minimum of the folks, and y'all felt very comfortable, right? But let's continue. So threatening people. And of course, they run in the system. So do you think really many of them going to go to jail? No. But if it was one of us if the roles reversed and we were threatening a white judge as black people, and we were threatening a white child that defended himself, all black folks would be locked up left and right. They'd be purple walking every last one of y'all. Elon Musk would have turned over every account that said something to the police and to the FBI to get y'all locked up. But they could sit on there online. They bold with it. They are bold. They're sitting online. That's why I love those people who are so good at tracking down those kind of accounts and who they really are and blasting them. I love people who can do that, because these people think they can hide behind accounts and think they won't be found out. Now, there's something else that they are mad about today with the judge. And I want to go into this. This is a short clip of the judge herself from 2021, actually. I want you to listen to what the judge had to say.
I didn't see a female in my hometown that was an attorney until I was in law school, and went back to intern, and certainly not a person of color. And so now when we can have, summer interns come up, and they are every race, creed, color, gender, but they can see someone that looks like them on the bench. I think that is so beneficial because it's representation. And when they look at me, young kids, law students, whoever it is, I want them to say, if she can do it, I can do it too.
All right. So they was upset about that short clip today. Why were they upset? They was upset because they say, oh, look, she's a DEI judge. They also calling her a BLM judge, right? All the little buzzwords of black folk, DEI, BLM. No evidence this woman has anything to do with a freaking BLM. How can she be DEI and she's a Republican, right? I thought DEI was kind of set aside for the Democrats. So now any kind of you black conservatives, you're DEI hires too, okay? That's why I told you can't be a Democrat or a Republican. You have to be independent, because it's both wing. It's the same bird, the same white supremacist bird. Don't matter what party it is, because when this Republican black judge do her job. This Republican black judge look at the facts that this child didn't have no criminal record whatsoever. He didn't have anything. Looking at this child is a student. Just looking at the case of this, and he didn't go to town and just kept on doing, stabbing the guy, Austin. It was one good time, which showed self-defense. Now, it wouldn't have been self-defense. He would have jumped on top of him and got him 10, 12, 20, 30, 40, 50 times with the knife. That wouldn't be self-defense at that point. Because now you're doing too much. But he hit him one good time, and he ran away. He didn't even know what happened to him. When the police caught up with him, he asked him, hey, he all right? He asked that question. So clearly, it was self-defense. But in the United States of America, you don't supposed to defend yourself against any kind of advances of the folks. You're supposed to let them beat you up. You're supposed to let them push you around, punch you in the face, kick you, do anything they want to do to you, because you defend yourself. Oh, no, you can't do that. Now, Gary said he goes to the Dominican Republic just to be around black and brown people and relax. Hey, whatever you got to go, right? So they took issue. Let me play that clip one more time because I want to home in on something else she said that they really was homing in on outside of calling her a BLM judge or a DEI judge. But, since you're talking about DEI, let me get there first. Why don't y'all tell Donald Trump about DEI? Donald Trump, according to y'all, because it's supposed to call black folks DEI and also white women, Donald Trump has a DEI, a DOJ person, Pam Bondi. He has a DEI, Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. He has a DEI, what's that lady, Caroline Lovett, whatever her name is, a spokesperson for him. She's DEI. Tulsi Gabbard is DEI. His chief of staff is a lady. She's DEI. Why haven't y'all said something to Trump about all these DEI hires? I thought y'all wanted Trump to hire nothing but white men. And if it's not white men, it's DEI. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not consistent. But let me play something else here. Let's hear this one more time.
I didn't see a female in my hometown that was an attorney until I was in law school, and went back to intern, and certainly not a person of color. And so now when we can have, summer interns come up and they are every race, creed, color, gender, but they can see someone that looks like them on the bench, I think that is so beneficial because it's representation. And when they look at me, young kids, law students, whoever it is, I want them to say, if she can do it, I can do it too.
All right. So the part about representation and having someone that look like them on the bench. Now, let's just hold that right there. Let's go to the folks. They have too much representation. Everywhere they go, somebody look like them. When they call the police, it looks like them. When they go to the bank, it looks like them. When they see the prosecutor, the judge, for the most part, it looks like them, right? When they see the most presidents, it looks like them. You only had one, which he wasn't the FBA, but you had one of African descent. I'm going to put it like that. A Kenyan was Obama, right? And he was bending over backwards for him. But minus Barack Obama being president, minus him, all of them look like them. Even though this country has people from all nationalities, they have finessed their way to keep the Senate looking like them. The House of Representatives looking like them. Everywhere they go, they see somebody that looks like them. But if a black person say, hey, I would like some representation too. Someone I could look up to. Somebody I could aspire to be like. Oh, that's wrong and that's DEI. And when they bring up DEI, they never bring any kind of factual evidence. They never show, because see, what they try to say is, well, the black woman or the black man got the job or the position because they lowered the standards because of DEI. They never show any tests. They never show any policies. They never show anything. They just repeat things. And this is why a lot of times I tell y'all, don't even get into arguments with them online, because you do better arguing with the wall. I have more respect for a wall than I have arguing with them. First of all, it's a waste of time. Two, it's never going to be in a position of education. It's going to be off of pure ignorance. Okay? Ignorance. Now, you say you are aware the Metcalfs are not on the track team. I'm not even thinking about that right now. But don't waste your time, because nothing they say is based in logic. Nothing is based in research. Nothing is based in education. None of it. Everything they do is on white and I say so and white supremacy. That's it. And you're never going to win that argument with someone that ignorant, that dense, that's choosing to be ignorant. You understand what I'm saying? It's a choice. They can research the Texas Stand Your Ground law. Listen, you can read them verbatim, the Texas Stand Your Ground law, and they still gonna say it's a problem. He shouldn't have did that, this, and that, and the third. But yet you literally could say, well, no, he's meeting the definition of this. Oh, he should have got away from him. The Texas Stand Your Ground law says that you don't have no duty to retreat. Yeah, but he had a knife. That's a crime. Knives aren't a crime to have. Now, certain type of knives. Now, if you have like a switchblade, that you can't have that in Texas. If what's that spring mounted knives? You know, the ones like what's some knives back in the day? The one you hit that button and come out. You can't have those. That's illegal, right? Certain lengths of a knife. That's those long knives. You can't be having those. But him having a knife on him, or we live in a state where everybody can walk around here with a gun. You do not have to have a license in the state of Texas to carry a firearm. Okay? You don't have to have that. If you want to carry a knife on you, you know how many people carry a pocket knife on them? Not to say they're trying to do something with it, but they just carry a pocket knife. Maybe it's something they work with. Maybe it's something they need to cut. I don't know. But people carry pocket knives all the time. And if that person needs to defend themselves from an attacker, they're going to use that pocket knife. So you got a problem with self-defense. You got a problem with the Second Amendment. You got a problem with all of that when the Second Amendment and self-defense is used on your people. I want y'all throughout the world to see their hypocrisy. How they don't respect laws. Everything, see, and then what they try to say to black people, why y'all make everything about race? They're the one making everything about race right now. They're making everything about race. Every part of this case, they're making it about race. I haven't heard black people make anything about race. I'm hearing black people say, hey, it's a self-defense case. And yeah, we're going to support him because we don't want him being railroaded, because they're making it about race. They're playing the race card. They're calling the judge a DEI judge and BLM. They're making it about race. Every part of this case is making it about race. So when they come to you, say, why y'all got to make everything about race? You're projecting because you make everything about race. Look at your whole system. You made it about race. How you going to go tell the victims of your racism in your culture to not make something about race when you make something about race 24/7? You can't go even a day without making something about race. Don't ever let them people tell you nothing about stop making things about race. I'm like, you go to hell. I say, you the one made everything about race. Look at the system we living in. Even your economists have said, because you made things about race, you lose trillions of dollars a year. You lose billions in the home market because You're discriminatory against black people because you don't want black people to have a home because it's about race. You're discriminatory in the area of business loans when it could bring in so many tax dollars that black people can actually be funded in their businesses. You don't do it because you don't want black people to have, functional businesses or thriving businesses because you're making everything about race. You don't want black folks to have clean air, clean water, but you want to have it because you're making it about race. Everything you do, you have made it in this country about race. Everything. That's why I never want my people to argue with them when they say, why you guys making it about race? That's a waste of time. I've learned a long time ago, don't waste your time talking to them. Don't waste your time debating them because you can win against them. You can make them look silly, but it's going to be a complete waste of time. I'm telling y'all, that's why I don't, some people say, why don't you invite these kind of people on your show and have a debate? And I've had them message me, let's have a debate. I'm not wasting my time talking to you. That's so much of a waste of my time. I'm going to use my time wisely. I'd rather report on the news. I'd rather do whatever I'm going to do, but we didn't create this platform to argue with you. You go argue all you want on y'all platform. You ain't coming over here. It's just that simple. Oh, what you say, Black Fireson said, better off debating a teddy bear? Yes, we'd be better off debating a teddy bear than sitting up here arguing and debating with them. But they take problem with us having representation. Let me tell you something. They take problems with black folks being Congress people, senators. They take problem when black people are in law enforcement, especially high level law enforcement. What's the brother named Michael Byrd that protected the Capitol that day, right? When Ashley Babbitt, that's another one, broke the law, storming the Capitol. The brother Michael Byrd had to neutralize the threat, and they were so angry about it. They were saying he didn't have to do that. Why he took her life? She's so innocent and all of that, but yet she was in there breaking the law and storming the Capitol. They say they support law enforcement. They do not support law enforcement if you're black. They will support law enforcement if that black officer taking the lives of a black person, they'll support it. But no, that black officer can't do his job. So that Michael Byrd, he was supposed to sit there, let Ashley Babbitt get in what she wanted to get into and let the mob in there to do whatever they, you know what I'm saying? That's what he was supposed to do, right? Now, that brother was doing his job on January the 6th. What about all them other ones that was in the Capitol Police opening the gates and letting them in? Because you remember those videos? They were letting them in. They didn't really storm a whole lot of anything. But the black man that did his job, oh, how dare he? How dare he double tap Ashley Babbitt? Her behind should have been at home with her family and she'll still be here today. See, what y'all don't understand, and y'all starting to find out, there's consequences for actions in this world. That's just universal. It's consequence for your actions. It's consequences for your mouth. It's consequences when you're putting hands on people. It's consequences. Now, I know it's hard for you to understand that consequences will come your way, but you just need to keep to yourself, keep your hands and your feet to yourself, right? Now, D-Dub says, we just want Karmelo Anthony to have a fair trial. They're saying they're mad about that. Of course they're mad about that. Because think about it. Why would they be this angry about the situation if Karmelo Anthony really did take the life of Austin Metcalf in cold blood? If they knew that Karmelo Anthony just went overboard crazy, acting like Michael Myers, right? They wouldn't be saying much of nothing because oh no, he going to death penalty. We good on that, right? But the reason why they're so angry is because you got to understand it's the optics of a whole lot of things with them too. Okay, you have this black child defending himself from one of their own. one of their own found out the hard way, unfortunately, to keep his hands to himself. Then they found out the judge in the case is a black woman. So in their mind, like, oh my God, it's going to be hard for us to do I'm white and I say so. Because they got a black judge and she's a DEI hire, she's BLM. Oh, we're not going to get a fair trial. We're not going to sit up here and continue this two-tier system of justice because this black judge is not going to let us do it. Now, Cynthia says, Brother Phil, I must admit, I was almost a DEI hire until the bro called the company out. He said, I realized the brother was the most experienced. The company would have had to train me. Well, you can't help if you are a DEI hire. I mean, you're just trying to get a job. You understand? But DEI hire can be a black woman, a black man, anything outside of them. Definitely the white male, you are considered a DEI hire. So we want to know what's going to happen with the judge. We want to know what's going to happen with Karmelo Anthony. All parties involved deserve a fair trial and to conduct the trial in a right manner. Once again, I want people throughout the world, I want you to see how they get down. And understand when they come to your country, they have the same feeling, especially if they go into a Caribbean nation, they love going over there, or going to an African nation because they love going over there too. Latin America, when you got some black folks that understand when you see them, that's the attitude. They take that attitude everywhere they go. I'm white and I say so. I can colonize whoever I want, and you're going to just cow down to me. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we all going to have to watch this case carefully. Now, you said you were surprised that the judge was black. Yeah, I didn't expect that either, to be honest with you. I didn't. And she's a Republican, so I didn't expect that either because, most of the judges around here, these places, if they are black, they're Democrats. So for her to be a Republican, this whole case is messing their mind up. A black Republican judge gave him a reduced bail, and she did the right thing. You say now they're trying to colonize Mexico? Yeah. The Mexicans tired of them too. The Mexicans are like, hey man, carry your happy self back to America. That's the thing. They don't like Mexicans either, but yet they want to be in Mexico. They're telling all the Mexicans, get out of this country, you're gonna be deported. But yet they go show up, they behind in Mexico City. I never understood that. Then I seen videos of Mexican people talking about when they come down there, they're telling them, oh, don't put the seasoning like this on the food. How you gonna go to somebody else's country and tell them how to season food? How? If you don't like that kind of food, just don't eat it. Or choose something that don't have seasoning like that. Or the one story I saw, one of them bought like some sort of apartment across the street from a very popular Mexican restaurant, and she's calling constantly against the people and causing problems when she knew she bought this apartment right across the street from a very popular restaurant. They're playing music all hours of the night. That's what they do. They turn it up. If you didn't like the turn up, why did you buy that? Matter of fact, why don't you go to Eastern Europe and buy an apartment there? That way you would not have heard what the Mexicans are doing. Same thing with the Jamaicans, same thing with the different African countries. You want to go to everybody else's country that's not even your culture. If you would listen, there's nothing wrong with European countries. Nothing wrong with them. That is your heritage. That's where you come from. That's where your people fled from. Because your people failed in Europe and they fled over here. And you have got nothing going on for yourself until the FBAs help you got it going on. And that's the bottom line. So, yeah, they never want a vacation in Europe. That's the crazy part. They never want to be over there. You would think they'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to Europe, man. And going to Norway and Scandinavia. Scandinavia, yeah, I'm snapping at something over there. one of my pets. They never want to be in Sweden. They never want to be in Iceland. They never want to be in any of those places. I'd probably go visit one of those places before they would, which it'd be so far. I don't know. It would be a lot for me to visit. It'd have to be some real business. But really, when I was actually in Ethiopia, I spoke to a sister that lived in, I think she lived in the Netherlands. But she was half, one of her parents are white, the other parents are black. But she was so happy to talk to us because she was like, oh, I'm so happy y'all here. Because the group she was with was full of the folks, right? They was in some remote area doing what they were doing, and she was kind of with them, in college or whatever. But boy, she wouldn't stop talking to us because she was like, I don't get to talk to black people this much. I'm so happy y'all my people. I was shaking my head like, poor young lady. Like you just starved for culture. I'm like, why don't you just move out of there? Like either come to this country, or Ethiopia, or come to the States and go to places like DC, go to Atlanta, Houston, like get around some people. Say, I really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say, black folks throughout the world, don't have children with them folks and then leave that child in an environment like that. Because she was talking about all the racism she deal with them people. Don't do that. I never understood why some of y'all would do that. Have baby with them folks and then you leave them children with them, and then they go put them right in their neighborhoods where they at, and then they deal with so much racism. They deal with so much. It is, see, at least when we, in our communities, okay, we in our communities, we deal with it as we deal with it, but we're not in the midst of it like that. That's pretty bad. You may say, where the black daddy? Sometimes it's the black mama too. They have babies with them. Sometimes. You say if you have you're a college graduate, you can't be a DEI hire. Well, DEI is just code word. You know that. It's like BLM is a code word. I told you, these people don't focus on logic. They don't focus on research. They don't focus on education. Remember Trump said that he loves the uneducated? And I would say probably the majority of the people that's following him is the uneducated. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. Make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. When you get there, hit either, you can do monthly, quarterly, annual, or a lifetime subscription. Make sure that you take advantage of that, because as of next year, the price is going to slightly go up next year. So take advantage and lock yourself in now. You can definitely check out our the Phillip Scott podcast. We got two of them at 9 p.m. Central Standard and 9:30 tonight on that channel. But thank y'all.